Hello, in this lecture we'll talk about the story and the title of the great poem, The Knight in the Panther's Skin. So we start with the story. In a nutshell, the story of the great poem, The Knight in the Panther's Skin, is about the adventures of two knights, Tariel and Aftandil. Tariel is the protagonist of the poem, is the knight that wears the tiger skin, and Aftandil is the chief of staff of the Arab armies. The next step I'll talk about the story of the great poem The Knight in the Panther's Skin in detail. Actually, the story can be divided into two parts. The first part is the search for Tariel, the protagonist of the poem. The second part is the search for Tariel's beloved, the standard John. So we start with the first part, the search for Tariel. One day, King Osteman, with the king of the Arabia, goes to an hunting competition with Aftandil. Aftandil is the chief of staff of King Osteman's armies. And during the competition, they take a rest, they take a break, and they rest under a tree. And all of a sudden, they see a mysterious knight crying by a river. So King Osteman wanted very much to know who is that mysterious knight. Therefore, he sent slaves in order to contact the mysterious knight. But the mysterious knight reacts violently and kills all the slaves that's sent by King Osteman in order to contact him, and then disappears. Tinatin is the only daughter of King Osteman, and she loves Aftandil, and Aftandil also loves Tinatin. So Tinatin asks her beloved Aftandil to find the mysterious knight in 3 years, and in turn she will marry him. So Aftandil goes to search the mysterious knight. He searches all over the world, and after 2 years and 9 months, he finds out the mysterious knight. The mysterious knight tells him that his name is Tariel, that he was the commander of India's fleet, and he loves the standard John. But the problem was, and the standard John is the daughter of King Panther'S, who is the king of India. But the problem is that she was abducted. So after the abduction of his beloved standard John, Tariel sank into deep depression. He was always crying and sobbing, and he was totally isolated with the society. So actually he became insane, became crazy, because of the abduction of his beloved standard John. And the only maiden, the only one that was with him was a maiden that helped him to cope with the tragedy. Actually, he has to cope with the tragedy of the abduction of the standard John, and he also has to cope with the tragedy that he killed a tiger that he loved so much. So the maiden, standard John, helped him to cope with those two tragedies, and so Aftandil was very moved by the story of the mysterious knight Tariel, and therefore he becomes his friend and also promises Tariel to find his beloved, the standard John. So that is the first part of the story, the search for Tariel. And the second part of the story is the search for Tariel's beloved, the standard John. So in the second part, Aftandil searches the standard John, Tariel's beloved, and after a lot of searching and investigations, he finds out that the standard John, Tariel's beloved, was abducted by the Kajis. The Kajis are demons, so often deal. Tariel and Pridon. Pridon is the ruler of the city Mulgazanzar. Together with 300 soldiers, they go to the country of the Kajis in order to rescue Nestam from her captivity. But the problem is that the country of the countries, the Kajis country is a fortress, and it's actually impossible to infiltrate to this fortress. The second problem is that the Kajis are very strong warriors. So it is actually impossible mission to rescue Nestam Darajan from her captivity by the Kajis. But against all the odds, the 300 soldiers, together with Aftandil, Pridon, and Tariel, did the unthinkable, and they succeeded to rescue Nestam Darajan from her captivity by the Kajis. The story has an happy ending in the sense that Aftandil merits Tinatin, and Tariel, the protagonist of the poem, marries his beloved Nestam Darajan. So that is the story of the great poem, The Knight in the Panther's Skin. In the next step, I will talk about the title of the great poem. Actually, it is not clear if the animal in the poem is a panther or a tiger, so we assume that it is a tiger, and therefore the title of the story is The Knight in the Tiger's Skin. The knight is Tariel, that is who is the protagonist of the poem, that wears the tiger's skin. So actually, there is a particular poem there is a particular chapter in the poem that talks about Tariel that killed a lion and a tiger. And the story of that particular chapter is as follows. One day, Tariel sees a lion that was chasing after a tiger, so Tariel thought that the lion was going to kill the tiger, and therefore he killed the tiger in order to rescue the life of the tiger from the hands of the lion. And then he went to ask the tiger that he loved so much, because actually he risked his life by killing the lion. But the tiger was very angry on Tariel because of the fact that the tiger and the lion was not fighting but just playing a game. And therefore the tiger starts to eat Tariel very strongly with its paws. So Tariel could bear no more the blows of the tiger, and therefore he eats back, and in one blow he kills the tiger. So it's actually a very tragic story because of the fact that Tariel that loved so much the tiger, because he risked his life to save the tiger from the hands of the lion, and the end of the story he was the one that killed the tiger. So Tariel is very angry with himself, and therefore he decides to wear the tiger's skin. That is to say, Tariel uses the tiger's skin as a coat for him. And actually there is two reasons that Tariel wears the tiger's skin. The first reason is it is a reminder for him that he killed the tiger that he loved so much. The second reason, it is also a reminder for him, his beloved Nestam Darajan that was abducted twice. Right, it is a reminder for him his beloved Nestam Darajan because of the fact that the face of the tiger was very similar to the face of his beloved Nestam Darajan. So there are two reasons that Tariel wears the tiger's skin. The first reason, it is a reminder for him that he killed the tiger that he loved so much, and it is also a reminder for him of his beloved Nestam Darajan. We know that the tiger's figure is a very important figure in the poem. Why? Because of the fact that the name of the poem is The Knight in the Tiger's Skin. That is to say, the knight is Tariel, the protagonist of the poem, that wears the tiger's skin. And the reason that the tiger's figure is a very important figure in the poem is because of the fact that, as I already mentioned before, that the face of the tiger is very similar to the face of his beloved, the standard Jan. Teres beloved, the standard Jan. Okay, thank you very much.